All right, family. We live once again. It's on. We got some powerful information today. We're gonna be talking about the United States and the importance of Greenland to the United States in this missile defense system, the Golden Dome. And a lot of what's going on right now with Iran is also, you know, it's an aspect of this total blueprint for a new United States imperialistic blueprint. That's what it is. No matter how you like it, no matter how you slice the pie, no matter how you slice the pie, good or bad, I say again, somebody got to be the big dog. Somebody got to be the big dog. And so, and that's just the world that we live in, the utopian world that people believe in. It ain't coming no time soon. It ain't coming no time soon. So you could, and so in the meantime, you have to decide which one you want to be. You want to be the big dog, you want to be the little dog, you want to be the dead dog. You choose which one you want to be. Now, so when we talking about the Golden Dome and this missile defense, shield that they are trying to build, in case they get into it with China, in case they get into it with Russia, you have to understand again that they shooting them missiles over the Arctic Circle. This is a globe. This is not a flat map. So they shooting these missiles over the Arctic Circle. And so, of course, Greenland is right there in the flight, is right there in the flight path, even before they come over all the way over the Arctic Circle. So that's as far as intercepting, even satellites, honing in on the launch itself. Okay, so it sits under the main missile flight path. Okay, intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, from Russia or potentially China will likely travel over the Arctic to reach the United States. Greenland lies almost directly under that path, roughly halfway between Washington, D.C. and Moscow. This means radar there can detect missiles earlier than sensors far south, giving the United States more time to respond. Okay, so that's very critical. You cannot let Denmark, they have missile defense system, but we're talking about even more robust defense system. You need a more robust. You got missiles that far outseed that old defense system. They got all type of new missiles that far out, is far more advanced than the old defense shield. That's just obvious. You see what I'm saying? They got all type of hypersonic missiles today. So this is not that old day. Okay, this is not the old day where you can use the same. Military is always advancing every day. You see, and so again, we are saying clearly that Greenland, from my perspective, is very necessary. It's very necessary. You see, because it's gonna get down to the get down one day, one way or another. That's just like most people understand that what's going on with the United States and Iran is coming. Have you ever been going to school or you done been in the neighborhood and two cats, they ain't really got into it, but they talking all the time? You see what I'm saying? And they sticking their chests out. You know it's coming. It might not be today, but it's coming. So you got to understand that, China and United States, Russia and United States, one day that could pop off. Do you want, and I understand critically what Greenland is, because see, if you listen to these cats out here, you're going to be in a world of hurt. because they don't understand nothing. These are just cats on the internet typing. They don't understand nothing. It is no way, once you understand how critical Greenland is, that you would just leave it to Denmark. You see what I'm saying? A little peep squeak nation that can't, scared Russia gonna run in on the mainland. You got half them European nations over there scared that Russia could run in on them right now, just like they did Ukraine. And Denmark is one of them nations. Denmark is a nation with about 5 to 6 million people. They have no military to go against the Russia show up on Greenland right now. It is no way possible that Denmark could get Russia off of Greenland. It's no way possible. You see, they'll be begging NATO, which not going over there. NATO is not going to Greenland because really, you see, it's really not as critical to them as it is to us. So why would we leave Greenland to, the negotiation of Denmark when it's critically if Russia, because Russia seized Crimea over there under Obama's term. Okay. Did anybody get it back? Did anybody get it? Can I ask anybody out there? Have anybody gotten Crimea back from Russia? Because Russia understood how critical Crimea was to their goddamn security. So they didn't wait. Soon as they went straight to Crimea and seized Crimea because they know that Crimea was just as critical to Russia as Greenland is to the United States. So Russia got the balls to go and do what they need to do. They got the balls to go and do it. You see, in the United, everybody is this is a world of people that want to be on the top. Too many of y'all is caught up in these fabricated worlds that do not exist. The utopian world do not exist. And it's not going to exist no time soon. So either you're going to live in this world and live to be successful, or you're going to be unsuccessful and you're going to be the one at the bottom, always typing comments, always crying the blues. I'm showing you strategy, watching them strategically. You ain't got to necessarily be on nobody's side to call it like it is. You ain't got to be on nobody's side to call it like it is. If they show up to your door 10 times out of 10, the door coming off the hinges. Can I be real with you? Can I be real with you? Can I be real with you? I'm just trying to be real with you so you can come to a realization, not how you can be victorious and how you're not going to be victorious underestimating your enemy. Okay? And a lot of people is underestimating the enemy, and they're losing by doing that. And so I have no doubt with all that's going on that the United States will take Greenland from Denmark. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And they're going to militarize, if they have not already militarized northern Canada, because that's what it's about. I mean, they already got NORAD up there. That's United States and Canada. So NORAD is, that's the Air Force defense system between the United States and Canada. So they already had that. So I'm quite sure they got missiles up there. But they trying to take it to the next level. You see what I'm saying? Because you talk about intercontinental ballistic missiles. You see, some of them missiles actually go in damn near into outer space. You see, they shoot them missiles up in damn near into outer space, and then they come down. You see, that's why they talking about, man, putting, they got, he can't, Ronald Reagan was already talking about Star Wars, where they talking about putting interceptors in outer space. You see what I'm saying? Because them missiles come into, and now today they arming the satellites where they could shoot down other satellites, and then they got satellites up there that got arms on them where they could get close to your satellite and latch on to your satellite. You see what I'm saying? And bring it back on down to Earth. You see what I'm saying? So they coming up with a whole lot of new technology out there. Don't you understand? So either you keeping up or you're not keeping up. That's just like, Iran, not today. The United States can start reverse engineering them Iranian drones. So they didn't got on top of them, and that's another thing. Getting in there, getting some of that technology, what little they got, and they did have, they had Iran got an extensive drone technology above and beyond a lot of nations out there. And so they didn't got a hold to them drones. You say, that's right. That's right. Of course it is. We understand that. But hey, you gonna stay under colonialism until you learn the strategy of your oppressor. You don't understand the strategy of your oppressor, you're gonna stay crying about being under colonialism. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna stay crying. And it's long for us to stop crying about colonialism and imperialism because we done been under it long enough to know how it operates. We should know better than any damn body because, goddamn it, we done been under the boot of imperialism probably longer than anybody on the planet. And so we should have more strategy and more knowledge on how to destroy it, yet and still all I hear is comments about, man, the colonialism, the imperialism, and you should know more better than he know. God damn it, they've been putting it on you. Okay. Too much underestimate, not listening, not, you know what I'm saying, seeing what need to be seen. You need to and see it correctly and make moves that's going to offset a lot of what's happening today. And we should have been doing it long time ago because this is it's not going to be in a day. It's not going to be in 2 days. It's not going to be in a week. But if we was working on it long time ago, we should have been able to dismantle large portions of imperialism and colonialism in the Black world. But yet and still we have, operated in the system. Yes, we have operated in the system because, again, the man is militarily, he show up to your door. But that's where it causes us to unify in masses of numbers where, that's the best way to deal with that. Being in these frictionalized predicaments between the nations, and everywhere you look, our people is in a divisive argument one way or another, right or wrong. We stay in a divisive situation with one another, and we can't win like that, period. We cannot win in the device. And I understand we got some issues we got to deal with too, but we got to deal with them and get it over with. You see what I'm saying? If we got to deal with it and get it over with. Whatever need to be dealt with and get it over with, because that's what they doing. And that's exactly what they doing. If they see it's a key agenda that need to be dealt with for them to stay in power, they moving on it. They ain't taking no time moving on it. They say we need Venezuela, we got Venezuela. They say we need Panama Canal, we got Panama Canal. Say we're going to quiet Cuba, Cuba quiet. You see what I'm saying? Telling Mexico, we coming in there. You gonna get on top of them cartels because they trying to work with China and Russia to destroy the United States from the inside out with this narcotic thing. So y'all you've been knowing what's going on. Y'all been working with I'm letting you know, you get it together or we gonna be on your head next. That's what they saying. That's exactly what they saying. So they letting you know ahead of time. Look, we know what you're doing, okay? And we talking about being in power. Right or wrong. I don't want to hear about you crying. Be the big dog. Don't be the little dog. Don't be the dead dog. You choose what. It's only three you can be. You can be the big dog. You can be the little dog. You can be the dead dog. Which one you want to be? Okay, so they move on whatever they say. This is what's gonna keep us in power. They move on it. They move on it. They ain't apologizing about it either. They not apologizing about being on top. And that's what's wrong with you. That's what's wrong with you. You see, you understand? You got an excuse for being on the bottom. You always got an excuse for being on the bottom. Well, but they do not apologize for being on the top. Okay, so that's what it is. And so they're going to take Greenland. They're going to take Greenland. And Canada is slowly but surely coming in. They supporting the United States going into Iran. Australia is also supporting. So Britain, I'm just seeing the news, Britain trying to come right on and trying to come back in now and support. And Trump is saying, we don't need your support now. You understand? Too late. Too late. You understand what I'm saying? So now they're going to punish. They're going to get rid of him. They're going to get rid of him. Keir Starmer, they about to get rid of him. He messed up right there. He should have went on here and did the right thing. You know, even if it looked wrong, it is right when it come to power. You see what I'm saying? It's right when you moving towards power. And I just want you to see that. Right or wrong. So family, thank you for being here today. Again, on Patreon, we're going to be talking about the Chinese and the Mexican cartel. A narcotic operation on America is too raw for YouTube. I want you to get over there. I'm going to break it down for your family and show you that everything ain't what it seems. Everything ain't what it seems. I appreciate y'all, family. I'll see y'all in a minute. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on the Wicked Beast Daily Liberation through African education confrontation. Boom, Black Power.